All right, here we go. It's called measures of central tendency. That sounds like real crazy, but it's stuff that you probably saw when you were in elementary school. I remember when I was a little kid doing these things. Do you remember mean, median, and mode? Do you remember that stuff? 2 years ago?
Yeah, that was like last year.
Middle school, maybe? Yeah. Well, it's been a very long time for me, so now we're going to actually learn. All right, here we go. So the word mean means the average, okay? If you say take the mean of all these numbers, you're just taking the average of all the numbers. So here's how you take the mean. Let's pay attention, please. Okay, all this nonsense, it's not impressing me. Okay, all right, just pay attention. That's all I want you to do. That's all I want you to do is to pay attention and stop the whining. All right, you'll live. I think you'll live. Big, strong football player complain about getting... Stop. Oh, stop it. My goodness. I've never seen such. All right, here we go. This Monday is not starting out very well. Please. All right, here it is. If you're going to find the mean of something, just find the average. So what does that mean, the sum of the values? It's supposed to be U. It kind of looks weird, but the sum of the values. What do you mean for a sum? What does that mean? Just add them all up. That's right. So if you have a list of numbers, all right, I don't know. Let's stick a negative in there. Let's stick a, I don't know. Let's not do any fractions. 4 and a 0. All right, let's say you had these numbers right here, and you wanted to average those numbers. So here we go. Serious? You're not just taking a sip. Come on. You're holding it up like this. It's dripping all over you, and you're making a scene. Everybody's looking at you instead of me. It wasn't just getting a drink of water. Everybody in here understands. It wasn't just getting a drink of water. Stop. Just pay attention to me. Stop. You understand? I may not make it through the end of this year. I don't know. So we're going to find the sum of all the values. So here's all the numbers right here. If I want to find the sum of the values, what do I do with all those numbers? I add them up. So 1 plus 2, you could just put minus 3, plus 4, plus 0, and you divide it by the number of how many values you have. How many numbers do I have? Did I add up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people would think, oh, 0 doesn't really count because when you add it, it doesn't really add anything to it, but it's still one of your numbers. Like if you're going to do batting average, right, and you had, one day you went 0 for 4, you have to average in that that's 0. Does that make sense? So you still have to average it in. And so you divide it by how many numbers we had. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, I don't know what that is. That's 3 minus 3. That's 0 plus 4 is 4. So it's 4 over 5. So that would be your average. Just 4/5 or 0.8 would be your average. Just made that up off the top of my head. So it didn't come out even, but it doesn't always have to. The averages don't always come out even. But that's how you find the average of some numbers. All right? There's an example in the book, example 6. It's just like this, except I just put a few more numbers in there. But that'll be good enough. That's good enough for the example. All right, so the average is the mean. If you're finding the mean of something, you're just finding the average. Okay, there's another word that is probably one of the easiest ones that we're going to do, and that's called the median. All right, the number that's in the middle, correct, with a little caveat here. All right, so let's do, let's use the numbers I was going to use for example 6. So let's do that. If I had negative 8, I'll put a comma, positive 2, negative 6, positive 6, positive 4, negative 7, negative 5. Okay? The example in the book is a running back. That's their stats. Not a very good running back. I'd probably get rid of the running back if that was his stats. Okay? So he had an 8-yard loss, 6-yard loss, 7-yard, 5-yard loss. Okay? And his biggest gain was only a 6-yard gain. So Either you need a new offensive line or a better running back. So anyway, I want to find the median. How do I find the median? It's the middle number. Is it the middle number the way that they're listed right now? It's not. You got to do something to them first. You got to put them in order, right? You got to put them in numerical order. So what's the smallest number out of all of these? Just somebody tell me. What's the smallest number? -8. Then what's the next one? -7. And then -6. And then -5. And then +2. And then 4 and 6. Is that right? So I'm done with that, done with that. Okay, so we have to find the one that's in the middle. Yes, sir. You can. Right, you don't have to go from smallest to biggest. You could go from biggest to smallest, but you got to put them in order, okay? You got to put them in some kind of chronological order, either from smallest to biggest or biggest to smallest. So we want to find the one that's in the middle. Let's count how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That makes it kind of easy. If we have 7 of them, it makes it kind of easy because if you have an odd number of numbers, you'll always have one number that's in the middle, okay? So which one is dead in the middle? The -5. That's right, because there's 3 on this side, there's 3 on this side. So -5 is your what? Is your median. Now, you'll do a lot more with this in statistics if you ever take a class in statistics. I took a couple classes in college, hated it, never want to take it again. Some people love it. In fact, you wouldn't remember her, Mrs. Bonsbach. She was a math teacher here a long time ago, and she was loved by everybody and all that. She went to Wilmington University, and she is now, and she taught statistics. She loves statistics. Stats is what we call it, instead of saying that big word all the time. She loved it. And she earned her doctorate, and she is now the head math person. What do you call it? The math department head. The math department head. And in college, a math department head's a big deal. So she's the math department head at Wilmington University, and she's now Dr. Bonsbach. And so that's kind of cool. But she loves stats. In fact, we had stats. I don't know if the stats class this year does this or not, but for a bunch of years when Ms. Bonsbach was here, we would get students that took it could get college credit for that class to Wilmington University. So if they passed the class or they did well, and maybe they had to get a C at least or something like that here, and then you could actually get college credit for it. Yes, Abe. Yes, you got your thing? All right. So anyway, but this is part of statistics. It's a very, very, very small part of statistics, but it's probably like the very basic, easiest part of statistics that you'll ever do.
Oh, I was ready.
Oh, sorry. Man, class went quick. All right, one more. Let's do this. Let's do the mode. Let's talk about the mode. Oh, by the way, before we do that, what if we let's stick another number in here. 10. All right. Everybody watching? So now, is the median -5 now? No, because you've got what? You got 2 numbers in the middle, right? So you got 3 to this side, 3 to this side. So what do you think you do with those 2 numbers to find the median? Add them up, you find the average, right? Okay, so that would be what? -3/2. That would be your median, all right?